and tell us from a growth perspective, but talking about how technology can be an enabler of growth. So how, with AI, for example, which is overused, but very useful, and we all know it, you are also retraining skills within companies, starting with your own. So share a bit with us.
Well, yes, but before getting to AI, I believe that 20 years of being human in my entrepreneurial experience matters, and I think it will continue to matter more than artificial intelligence. I also want to say, to reassure many people who today feel scared, that this is the real issue of change, of how to face this change. A suggestion, always outside of AI, for young entrepreneurs who are not yet entrepreneurs today, because if you are, you have probably already chosen who to partner with and what not, especially the management you surround yourself with. Seek out people who are radically different from you, because it is only through comparison and confrontation that the growth we are talking about today emerges. So, for me, growth is primarily the result of crisis, personal crisis, business crisis, crisis in all things, because without crisis, growth is hard to achieve. So, bless every moment of crisis you encounter, because it is the only protein that allows you to take a step further. I say this because in my entrepreneurial story, I went through a liquidation, and that is where I grew. I brought together a number of creditors who would call you on the phone, and these experiences are fundamental for human beings. Now, it is obvious that we are entering an era where humanity faces the greatest challenge, which is not to be surpassed by machines. In the past, there was no possibility of thinking about not being outpaced by machines. Before, perhaps you could be surpassed by animals. When you were in the cave, it consumed you, so you had little to do. Then over time, technology has always been at the service of man. This time, perhaps man is at the service of technology. All the debates that are happening today are very important. They must be understood and studied, because if the entrepreneur does not understand, does not grasp, does not study what is happening, he has no chance of success in the next, one would have said 20 years, no, in the next 3, maybe 2, because of the speed at which certain technological revolutions are occurring. By the way, the intervention of Cingolani, which I happened to see last night in February, the former minister and current CEO of Leonardo, is wonderful. Thank you. It is clear that he is doing some recruiting for them. What is the theme? The theme is that technology, particularly artificial intelligence, has experienced winters. The algorithms developed by top statisticians were stronger and more powerful than what machines, the CPUs of computers, could support. So, at a certain point, investments would run out and they would tell companies to wait, because the machine was not yet as fast as the product of human intelligence, which were the algorithms. Now, I will answer your question. I conclude. So, it is a very fast moment that is happening, but it is the result of at least 60 years of studies in the field of artificial intelligence, starting from the beginning of the era that was the study of natural language analysis. Now, they are here and accessible to everyone. This is the revolution. It's not just physicists or data engineers who have knowledge of it. My cousin, who invited me here, also has knowledge of it. Now, the theme is not to be afraid and to understand what it is, because if you start from there, you can proceed calmly. It's like saying that when the invention of the car happened, I was a coachman, and I worry that tomorrow I won't have a job. No, go study how to drive a car, you have a job, and besides, you'll have more fun because you'll go a bit faster, take less time, and make more money. Therefore, understanding artificial intelligence is the first thing. How does knowledge change? In my opinion, it changes little. At most, the risk is losing some knowledge, because in reality, knowledge belongs to the interlocutor. What can help? And I conclude, the entrepreneur and the company in general. In understanding artificial intelligence, particularly large language models such as Copilot, ChatGPT, etc., is the acceleration it allows you to achieve. It's about how to use it, not so much about learning more about what can be useful, but especially about how to free up my time to do other things better. So, the answer to this is not so much to grow in skills, even though one could take 1,000 courses using ChatGPT at no cost, but the truth is the understanding of the topic.
I have heard several entrepreneurs say that they struggle to implement this technology, which, as you rightly say, is now accessible to everyone in business, precisely to speed up and automate processes. Do you have any advice on things that you see working?
We have a company with 180 developers, so it is quite technological. However, I brought in a person and told him to come to us. He was an expert, obviously, in large language models, and he also had project management skills. I told him, now you will be the evangelist, the enabler in all divisions of the company, not just in the product area, but in all finance, marketing, sales, consulting, customer success, everything. Start analyzing exactly what they do and how you can at least eliminate the most time-consuming and error-prone tasks and have them done by other tools. Today we have 4 active applications in different divisions, each doing a part of the work, and we are developing a multi-agent company that is devastating from the perspective of, but maybe I'll tell you about it another time.
No, conclude. And I am curious.
Multi-agent is a big topic in the sense that beyond the experiences each of us has already had, I go on CGPT, I ask a question, I get one answer. If I ask a better question, I get an even better answer, which then relates to prompt engineering and so on. What is the most recent innovation? And very few companies do this. Very few, many startups, but only a handful have managed to achieve it, is to bring together different agents who reason and communicate with each other. So imagine a chat GPT where instead of having just one Moloch responding to you, there are 5, 6, or 10 people, each with a different role, to whom you ask a question, and each responds from their own point of view. So we use it in the development field. We have 15 teams, each with 5 different types of developers. We have placed 5 agents side by side with whom they talk and work better. So let's say this brings the topic to an even further dimension, meaning that it is no longer man potentially replacing, that is, artificial intelligence replacing man, but rather the team that stands alongside, not replacing the human team in flesh and bones, to make it go faster.